My name is K Inspiration. Craig Value Doobie too. As to say, okay, to say, well, where in truth does it get to say, do I get to say, do I get to be heard, actually, in a governmental standpoint, as representing the people, and the people control the government. It's not the government controls the people, as silly as this, oh, bless me, the banking system, the banking thingies, that's what kind of does it. As to say, what am I saying? Where is my area that I can say that I don't want anybody to represent myself anymore? In that sense, I don't agree with it. It doesn't make sense. I do not appreciate it. It is not preferable. As to say, where is it that to say, where do I get to say where my taxes actually go? In truth, that's what it's kind of about. Or what it, in truth, where does it say any of that? I do not agree at this moment. I will never agree at this moment with how things are semi-ran. It's silly. It's honestly silly to recreate the wheel. Every time you have an idea, that is ultimately one of the silliest things to do. Like, simply saying, like, you have to literally create from scratch. You gotta do it. Instead of being able to communicate that this idea is what I got. Another entity would look and say, oh, I can perform that task. So you can focus on what that concept can be. And then I can utilize my enjoyment within that of displaying it. And then in that sense, it produces forwardism and humanism. Because, like I said in another videos, as what it is a kind of petty things that we worries about. Like the new things, instead of recycling kind of thing. Let's get the new clothing, new this. When what's really going on? I get that we want to be comfortable, enjoy life, and, it is what we learn. But at the same time, we don't have to live in that construct. We honestly, as people, come together. I'm a person, so I don't count in that sense, in saying, because it's more people in the wording sense, in that wording sense, as to what a label of a definition within a word can represent, if there is as such a thing. Or, as if it correlates to actually being within that thing, that showcasing and bringing of a concept to the idea of actually actioning it, wording what it is. So in truth, you think you have control? You're one of the most slaved people. The Americanisms. In truth, you think you have control of your TV. Well, you don't. Do you realize that commercials, they turn up or down what they want? And then when your TV show goes back on, it's the actual cable company. So what you got in that sense, what makes sense to me at this moment, is the control over the volume of the cable interaction. The commercials are different. Those are not, in a sense, cable related. There are some instances where the TV doesn't go up in volume by itself on the commercials, as there are some that do. In truth, it's like an ultimatum kind of thing. Like, you can not have a job. You can have a job. You got a roof and somewhere to live and be able to survive in attempts of stepping to living, Or you can live the life where you don't got that job right now, as what a paper bartering kind of job can be. As there's different labels and different steps and different thought processes of a job and working. As you can choose to live on the street and never have a job. Is that really preferable? Is that really something that we want to do? Because in the sense, if you want to go through life and get to see the world, you kind of have to interact within the group normal. And so, as a barterer, do I prefer doing taxations? Because no, I do not. Like, let me finish up the solicitations of commercials, because the same thing we go to a store is the same exact thing. It's just different, in a sense. Why is it different? Because we allow it to be different, in a sense. I mean, I personally don't. That's why I don't do TV. That's why I got, like, the Roku thing. I believe strongly in that. Yeah, there may be commercials on some of them, but other than that, no. I don't do that. Same thing, like, I don't maybe not want to get a car, because it comes down to there's fossil fuels. That's silly. There's free energy. We all know about it. Why are we even second guessing to never to use it? Are you serious? How silly can humanity get before they realize how controlled, in a sense, things can be? Because honestly, if the people came together and said, I want to live within a society that my needs, which can be food, water, shelter, communication, and transportation, are met. Give me all of those. And what are my worries? You know, and also basing the decisions off of, is this actually going to progress humanity? If it is, then okay. If it's going to, like, stifle it in some way, let's look at it some more, because we can use that somewhere down the line. We'll keep it in the records and use it, you know? Why not? Everything's awesome. Like the Fibonacci sequence says, utilize the past number to the present number, and that's the number you get, and then repeat. So that's saying, like, take what we have in the past and utilize it right now as something, you know, as to go forward. Because, like, really the way I see going forward is doing something totally different. Giving back that as the power to the people. My representation. I represent myself. My opinion counts. So does everybody else's person's opinions, because it's silly how people are so stuck on representing another entity. Like, everything that you have a boss in a sense, or something in a sense, or something, you represent another entity in a sense. Like the government as a lawyer represents the law, or the court of law, or something like that. So in a sense, that person as a job to receive paper bartering is that of, well, representing another entity, because in a sense they don't want to choose the ultimatum of the streets, because it's not a choice, it's an ultimatum. They call it a choice, but the net definition within that word of choice is ultimatum in a legal sense, because it's never just one word. You know why those legal documents are so just boom large with multiple pages to read? Because it's explaining the definitions within the words without actually phrasing it with saying a glossary type dictionary definition format. It's actually doing it within like a research paper format, Shane. See how important it is to know how to research and be a researcher and know how to things? In a sense, yes. Because I, as a philosopher, I love myself. Thank you. Just to say, this is pretty much that. Well, that's kind of what I feel, actually. Yes. As, well, nevertheless, empowerment of be your enjoyment. Thank you for letting me into your life. And, as always, enjoy the rest of your life.